We all get the impression where we like to have phones get bigger and bigger. Next thing you know, they get too big! So I don't know about you guys, I like having a big phone, but at the same time, what's the purpose for these phones to get bigger and bigger anyway? And next thing you know, it comes to a point where a phone gets too big, if it was already big enough. Phones like the Galaxy Note or the LG Optimus, whatever that is, and the Galaxy S4 with a 5-inch screen, I mean, it's great to have these phones big, but how big do you want them? For me, I think 5 inches is okay, and if it's a little bit over, then that's fine too, but a 6-inch phone, I don't think I would want that. Will it eventually come to a point where we actually use tablets to make phone calls? That'd be pretty funny, but next thing you know, or right now, there are already tablets that are actually used as phones because you can make phone calls with those because they have an earpiece. I don't know, it just depends on your personal preference, on what you think is a good size phone or what you think is too big for your hand. I mean, it depends on your hand size. In my case, my hands are decent size. I could see myself using a 5-inch phone or a 5.6-inch phone. That'd be fine with my hands. And in this case, this is 3.5 inches. You want to take 4 inches? Okay, that's fine. But this is only longer. I mean, the width it's not wider. I don't know, what's the purpose for having these phones getting bigger and bigger? Are they meant for reading? Are they meant for taking notes like the Galaxy Note? Or is it meant so that way you can fit more content on your phone? As the screen size gets bigger or as the phone gets bigger, next thing you know, you get more specs in there, meaning more power into that device. I don't know. I'm not trying to say this is a bad thing. I'm just saying, how big do we want phones to be in order for it to be the perfect size for us? Because as phones get bigger, obviously they have to get thinner, so that way they fit more comfortably in your hands. I don't know. In this case, iPhone 4, it's a 3.5-inch screen phone, and it's pretty thick nowadays because back then it used to be known as the thinnest smartphone, but now it isn't because you got the Galaxy S4, the Galaxy Note, that's much thinner, but this is actually fine. Even the iPod Touch 5th generation with this case on it is fine, but without the case, it's just too thin. Well, it's not too thin. The thickness is okay. I mean, compared to the iPod Touch 4th generation, where that was 3.5 inches and it was razor thin, yeah, that one felt a little too thin without the case on it. This thing, without the case, it feels fine, but it's slippery because of the stainless steel back. So guys, leave a comment down below. How big do you want phones to get in order for it to be the perfect size for you? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And I gotta go find myself a tablet so that way I can make phone calls with it, because the iPad and the iPad mini won't do it because they don't have an earpiece, so therefore they can't make phone calls unless if you have Skype and all that mumbo jumbo whatever. But overall, iPads are not cell phones, but the Galaxy Note 8.0 is. I'm only kidding. I'm not using a tablet to make phone calls for myself. I'd rather use a cell phone or a landline phone. Alright, bye bye.